I have been intending to do this kind of reveal and review for some time, and I apologize that it's taken me so long to get to do it, but here we are, and I'm very excited to be doing this. So many of you know that I purchased the Starchild Tarot some time ago, and surprisingly enough, because it's not typically my type of artwork that appeals to me in a tarot deck, but I have loved working with this deck. And I did a reveal, but I have yet to do a full review. So please consider this a full review of the Starchild Tarot. But what I kind of wanted to do with this is to do a comparison for you of the Starchild Tarot, Danielle Noel's, probably not Noel, Danielle Noel's first tarot deck. So this is the Starchild Tarot, the original, and then this is the Starchild Tarot, the Akashic Starchild Tarot. So this is her second deck, and it is a different deck than the Starchild Tarot. And I just wanted to share with you guys the images so that you can see if you're sitting kind of on the fence about which one of these decks is the one you want to purchase, or do you want to have both of them in your collection. You can get a good look at them and see which one speaks to you the most, or if working with both of them happens to feel right. So this is not like a second edition printing of the original. They're actually two separate decks, and from the get-go you really can tell that they are. And that's why I'm actually going to show you guys every single card in the deck, even though I don't typically do that. And I'm going to give you a comparison of them. To start with, the Starchild Tarot and the Akashic Starchild Tarot are both self-produced, self-published, all the way 100%. And so it's wonderful to support artists directly. And as you all know on this channel, it's something I firmly believe in, and I love being able to support directly the artists and creators of tarot decks and oracle decks that I deeply admire. So you'll find that there's a little bit more of an investment in these decks than if you bought a deck for $18 to $28 on Amazon. However, it's really worth it. The deck itself arrives in a nice white box, white cardboard box with beautiful sayings on the outside. Love and light, we are all stardust, or what mine have said. Not only do you get the deck in such quality packaging, you can see how sturdy these boxes are. I've kept them, which says a lot. I typically don't keep the boxes that my decks come in because I don't typically store them in their boxes. The deck itself, both decks are made of super high quality cardstock. These are decks that you're going to have for years, even if you use them daily, even if you're someone who's rough on your cards, these decks are going to hold up to it. And there are beautiful quality guidebooks included with both of these decks. So you're going to have a deck that you can use daily, often, and love. You're also going to have a guidebook that you can reference, whether you're a seasoned reader or someone who's new to tarot. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, the difference in the boxes. And Ethony has done a review on this as well, so if you're still on the fence, her review is a great one also. So you can see the original, we've got these kind of teals and aqua colors. With the Akashic Starchild Tarot, we've got this more kind of almost like earthy feel to it. On the sides, you'll see that there are the symbols. The only difference in the suits, symbols for the suits, sorry guys. Instead of coins or pentacles, the earth suit is crystals, which I actually really like. And so you can see I have the same thing on this. The only difference is the word Akashic is on the crystal and the cup in the Akashic Tarot. When you open up the box for the Starchild Tarot, I mean, again, such attention to detail, like absolutely everything. We are all stardust with constellations in a night sky. It's on the inside of this box, and we have this beautiful bottom box with colorful sky. For the Akashic, for the Akashic Starchild Tarot, the difference being on the inside here, we are all stardust, but you have this Egyptian, oh my god, I just forgot the word. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. You've got this Egyptian motif going on in here. I can't think of the word right now. It escapes me. And then here we have kind of more of a night sky feel, a little more astral feeling on the bottom part of the box. So again, really, really sturdy, guys. These boxes are beautiful, and I intend to keep them. I'm not going to be recycling them by any means. So here are the differences that you will notice when you're working with the decks right away. This is the original guidebook. Has the symbols on the front. As above, I'm just going to read the back for you. As above, so below, the Starchild Tarot, an intuitive tool that connects with your innermost realms and higher self. This 78 card deck explores the ancient traditions of the tarot through a multidimensional journey of consciousness and awakening. So this, especially this first one, is really letting you know that if you're new to tarot, and if you go to her site and check it out, you'll see if you are new to tarot, it's a great deck to start your journey with. And on the inside, the Starchild Tarot was made for the inquisitive and those who are in the process of waking up. For the light workers, the lovers of magic, and those who are drawn to the stars. For the adventurers, nature lovers, and mystery seekers at large. And then you will see that you have an introduction. She talks about, she gives you some spreads, basic spreads, your typical spreads, but also a star seed spread. Then she talks about the minor arcana, the major arcana, the court cards. So she talks about the elements associated with each suit, gives you characteristics, and then she talks about why the pentacles have been changed to crystals, which I really love about this deck. Then she gets into the major arcana. She gets right into your meaning. So you can see that you have reproduction of the image, discussion of the meaning, keywords, additional meanings, and reversal meanings. When you get into the minor arcana, a little bit less information, but still you've got a good starting point, a nice explanation of why she chose certain things. And again, reversal meanings are included in this guidebook. So if you are starting tarot, if you're starting to work with tarot, the Starchild Tarot is a great option for you. And I don't even think, if you don't feel drawn to work with a new to tarot book such as Tarot 101 or the Psychic Tarot, I think you could really do a lot with just this guidebook, but married with a powerful Tarot 101 book, or the Psychic Tarot by Nancy Antonucci. I always forget her name. Sorry about that. You're really going to get a lot out of it if you're new to tarot. So this is one that can absolutely accompany you on that journey. With the exception of some key titles in the major arcana have been shifted in this deck. Now you guys know that that's usually a pet peeve for me. For instance, death is transformation. I usually, the Hanged Man becomes perspective. So I like it when we keep our traditional tarot titles. I think it's important to explore the balance of dark and light. And so when we kind of get into that only positive thing, you lose me a little bit there typically. But I will say to you that for me, the title changes do not bother me enough for me not to work with the deck at all. I love working with this deck. If you're new to tarot though, you're going to find that you may just want to have a book like Tarot 101 on hand so that you can kind of cross-reference, okay, what is this title in traditional tarot? What's shifted here with this title change? For the Starchild Akashic Tarot, we have the symbols printed on the back, and simply it says, as above, so below. This guidebook is a bit thicker than the Starchild. Excuse me. And again, she is calling this the Akashic edition, but it is a separate deck than the Starchild Tarot. And just to give you a little bit of information, this Akashic deck has been created as a special edition to connect with new realms of topics and worlds for you to explore. The topic of the Akasha, or Akashic Records, was always on her mind through the process of creating both versions of this deck. As the tarot is an excellent tool to learn more about ourselves, it seemed only natural that part of the reading process would stem from the Akasha. It is a mystical topic that opens up sources for learning and illumination, with the cards acting as clear gateways into this etheric realm of endless possibilities, and I absolutely do agree with her. So you'll see that she has spiritual keys here to help illuminate that for you throughout. Again, she goes into the basics of tarot, and then she has, let me show you, She's got an Akashic spread, and then she also has a Metatron spread, and you can see the sacred symbols there in that spread. So same thing, she gives you information on the minor arcana. Pentacles are still crystals in this deck. She talks about the elements. She talks about why pentacles were changed to the 2 crystals again. She talks about the spiritual keys that she's included, such as chakras, gemstones, guides, symbols, and astrological signs. She gives you a map to the chakra system in this one with meanings. So if you're new to that, you don't have to worry about buying a separate book for that. It's included in here. And then she goes right into the meanings. So similar as with the original, I don't want to say original, but the Starchild Tarot, you've got meanings, keywords, reversals, and then she includes the spiritual keys for the card. So you've got a lot of information here. You can see with the minor arcana, a little bit less information is given, but still you've got a lot to go on there. So the guidebook's thorough, interesting, fascinating, and really great to read as well. And they are different as well. Here's the Starchild and the Starchild Akashic Tarot. The backings for the original or first Starchild Tarot, I don't want to say it like that because it's not, it's a separate deck, so I apologize for saying it like that. Excuse me. These are some of my favorite backings of all time. I love this backing. It's hard to beat this backing for me. I love the size of these cards and the width of them as well. I'm someone who likes large cards, so if you don't like large tarot cards, this might be a little tricky for you, but I think you'll get used to it, and the size is worth it. It really helps you to see the images. Again, the cardstock is amazing, guys. This is obviously someone who reads tarot who's created this deck because the cardstock is beautiful. Here is the Akashic. Different backing, again, doesn't live up to this for me. But it's absolutely gorgeous, so I'm not complaining. The sides of the Akashic are gilded, whereas the first are not. You can see that. And now I will go through for you with each card. So what I'll do first is show you the Starchild Tarot. So here we have the Starseed, or the Fool. And here is the Akashic. So you can see different images for the cards. Here is our Magician in the Starchild. Here is the Magician in the Akashic. So you can see that there are differences in what's happening here. You're being encouraged to kind of explore this from a different angle. The High Priestess. Different image here with the High Priestess. The Empress. And here's the Akashic. I love how they portrayed the Emperor here with the lion instead of a man. Very fascinating to me. So here we have a lion again, but the Emperor here is more of a female lion. Different colors being used. Here's the Hierophant. You'll notice in the Akashic, the Hierophant is wearing what? Well, we've got a sacred symbolism there with the kind of flower of life. In the Akashic, she's got the Eye of Horus. Love that she's female in this deck. We have the Lovers. Here are the Lovers in the Akashic. Again, very different. Different focus here. This is not one of my favorite images. Love this depiction of the Chariot here. Different focus here. Different feel. Although the image is similar. Justice in the Starchild. Justice in the Starchild Akashic Tarot. Serenity. Again, I prefer the traditional tarot, but I understand that she switched the titles for a reason here. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, notice the layers and layers that she uses with the photo manipulation. We've got symbols loaded in these pictures, which I think is why I enjoy them so much. So again, Wheel of Fortune, and you can see we've got some slightly different symbols going on here. Different layering of those symbols. Strength and strength. So just so you can see, because I know it's not quite as big as some of the others, here's your difference. This is the Akashic, this is the Starchild. Perspective. Now it's interesting with the Akashic because we have this kind of duality going on with perspective, or the Hanged Man, which is really, really fascinating. Then we have transformation, which is death here. Love her choice here for death in the Starchild. Really different. Again, different with the transformation here as well. But very different picture. So you're being encouraged to kind of meditate and sit with some different key themes here. Temperance. Sorry guys, it's going to be a long video. Temperance. And now we have oppression. Instead of the devil. I just love it when we talk about the devil, really. I mean, you know, I wish we could not change the name of that, but I understand why people do. So there's the tower. I prefer the Akashic tower. Here we have the star in the Starchild Tarot. Very different star here in the Akashic Starchild. I love it. Let me just show you again so you can kind of compare that, the difference here. Love the difference in the moon as well. So here's the moon in the Starchild Tarot. Here's the moon in the Starchild Akashic. I love this image. I love both of these images, actually. Neither of them disappoint me. And again, I think you're being encouraged to explore something different. Here's the sun. And here is the Akashic sun. I'm going to let you look at those together. These are actually very similar. This is the closest you get to an image being similar in the deck so far. Now we have Awakening, which would be your Judgment card. Here it is in the Akashic. Love the layering and the beauty she made in the night sky there. And then the world here. In the Starchild, in the Akashic, we have the universe instead of the world. I love that image. And then there's an extra card. There are 79 cards in the Akashic with the Akashic Records card. So very similar to, no, actually not, never mind. And I didn't say that. That's your major arcana. Now we're going to start looking at the minor. Ace of Crystals in the Starchild. Ace of Crystals in the Akashic. Two of Crystals here. I much prefer this. Two of Crystals in the Akashic, personally. Three of Crystals. You can see it's different. We have a night sky now. Different sacred symbolism used. Four of Crystals. Love this image. Not so in love with this one from a personal point of view. Five of Crystals. Five of Crystals. So again, the crystals are the suit of earth, typically the pentacles. So this one's similar in some ways, but you'll notice there's some more layering in here. Seven of Crystals. This is not one of my favorite images. You can see the chakra symbols there, and here's the Seven of Crystals in this deck. Really love this. Love that image. Eight of Crystals. And Eight of Crystals in the Akashic. Nine of Crystals. You go again, very different image. I'm glad she kept these similar because I really like this, with the 10 of Crystals here. You can see very similar in both decks. And one that I think is beautiful that she kept them very similar. You know, sometimes we don't need to change things up, and I'm glad that she honored that where it was called to be. Here's your page. Very different. Here's your knight. Again, quite unique. Here's your queen. Personally prefer the queen in the Starchild Tarot. Excuse me. Here's the king. He stayed the same here. And now we get into the Ace of Swords. For some reason, I like this image, and I don't know why. Typically, normally, it would not be one that I enjoy, but that Three of Swords is one that I really, really like. Three of Swords and how they're depicted in the deck really makes a big deal to me. We all have those certain cards. The Hierophant, the Three of Swords are cards that, like, I'm really checking out. If I don't love it, hard for me to work with it. I like this image of the Four of Swords. Love that. And I actually like this one too. I mean, I think, again, you're being encouraged to just look. So I know the camera doesn't pick everything up here, guys, but do you see the symbolism here with the elements and sacred symbolism used here, astrological symbolism used here? It's beautiful. Okay, so you see we've got that going on here with this Seven of Swords with the Akashic. You can see all the symbolism very faintly etched in. In that way, the Akashic reminds me of the Thoth, not in a knockoff way, in a good way. So you're really being encouraged to look at some layers and sit with what's going on here. Okay, this Ten of Swords I love. Love this depiction. Very different in the Akashic. Here's your page in the Starchild. Your page in the Akashic. Again, very different here. I think I struggle a lot with the sword suit in general, as far as personally when it comes to self-work with the tarot. The element of air is not my home element, and so it's one that I'm thankful to work with tarot because it encourages me to explore an element that's not necessarily my most comfortable. And yet in this deck, I really, on the whole, love the images for the sword suits with both of these decks, I should say. And it's one where my exploration of the sword suit isn't as kind of fraught with emotion as it typically can be. And so I really appreciate that about both of these decks. And very different image here for Three of Wands in the Akashic. I actually really like this one. Again, very different. It's nighttime here instead of setting sun or rising sun, depending on how you look at it in the other. Love this one. And here's this depiction. We're getting there, guys. But I did want to show each card so that you can see that there is a fundamental difference in both decks. This isn't just like a let's try to make money on another deck scheme here. She's really encouraging you to explore almost like a deeper aspect of each card. I love this image. And then here we see it in the Akashic. So again, different. Here we have the Nine of Wands, and here's the Akashic Nine of Wands. Ten of Wands. Similar here as well, with some subtle differences. You can see there. There's our page. Love this image. Our knights are different here in the Suit of Wands. I really like the image in the Starchild. This one's different. I've got to sit with that one personally for a bit. I love this Queen of Wands in both decks. I think she got it spot on with that one. And different images for the king here. We've got some duality going on here with this king. Slightly different focus. So now we move into the cups. So here's the Starchild Akashic. Two of Cups. I actually like that image, and typically I wouldn't. I don't know. This deck is very special. I love this. So I'm glad, for me, like, it's nice that this image is similar here because I really enjoyed working with the energy of the Five of Cups with that. So, similar but slightly different. We can see here much darker in the Starchild. Here's the Eight of Cups. Well, I love this image. There's the Ten of Cups. There's the Page. Different here, we can see. This is interesting. So here's the Knight here, and then the Knight in the Akashic. It's like got a different feel there to her. Queen of Cups here. And here. And then the final card in both decks, the King of Cups. So that was an exhaustive look at each of the cards. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Thank you for your patience. But hopefully you can see that each of the decks is unique and different. No, they're not just copies of each other. They are created with different intention and designed for almost like a different level of work with each deck. And I do not mean that to say that one is better than the other. Just different and unique in and of themselves. I just recently got the Akashic Tarot, so I'm not able to do a full review at this time. The Starchild Tarot I've been working with for a few months now. Just recently I started to work with it with clients, not just personally for myself. I have had really, really great experiences reading with this deck. This deck is, again, powerful, and people have their own unique interactions with and experiences with the images in this deck. And I can see that with the Akashic Tarot, it will be the same way for clients as well. Personally, for myself, I also have that experience. It's very, very unique and an experience that encourages you to meditate a lot. I find with this deck, I want to meditate a lot. I want to journal a lot. I want to explore different landscapes, different etheric realms when I work with this deck. Really give my creativity and especially my imagination free rein to just go wherever it wants to go. I don't need to edit or judge or make things make sense or any of those things. So even though the artwork in this deck is not artwork that I would typically be drawn to, many of you know that I've had just some not great as far as personal experiences working with these kind of mass-produced photo-manipulated decks. They just don't do it for me. These decks are not like that. The images in these decks are handcrafted, lovingly created. Each layer of computer, I'm going to say this wrong, so please forgive me if you're an artist working in this medium, but each image, each layer of that's gone into the work with layering the photo and creating the landscapes, creating the layers, has been thoughtfully done. And you can see that there's a great deal of love and intention going into every image in this deck. This hasn't been phoned in. This isn't a mass-produced deck. This is one that's really, really powerfully done to really bring you to a space of spiritual work. It's work that doesn't have to feel like hard work. It's enjoyable work, but it really encourages you to go deeper and not just use this simply as a game or a divination tool, but to really, really explore all the facets of tarot and the story of tarot as a whole, and then the stories within those stories in each card that you're being encouraged to explore. I highly recommend the Starchild Tarot. Highly, highly recommend it. And from my first week or two of working with, well, it's probably more like 3 weeks now, guys. I intended to do this video right away. But for my first few weeks with the Akashic Tarot, I feel that I'm going to have the same experience as far as really enjoying working with these decks and really getting a lot out of my relationship with these decks. The Starchild Tarot, for sure, I can tell you, I deeply love and loved working with. And now that I'm ready to work with it with others, having really great experiences with my clients with this deck as well. The Akashic Tarot is right up my alley. It's like this, let's go even deeper now. Okay, we've really gotten into stuff, let's go even deeper. Let's explore what's underneath the layer that you thought was the last layer in each card, and for yourself personally when you're doing this work. So both of these decks, really, really deep, meaningfully created, beautiful decks. And if you're not someone who typically works with this kind of photographic type of deck, if you're someone who tends to prefer more, of a painting look in your deck, if you're someone who prefers that look, kind of get out of your comfort zone here with this deck. I would still encourage you to purchase it and to give it a try, because I think you're really going to experience a deck that's masterfully crafted and created with deep and pure intention, beautiful intention. These are gorgeous decks that are beautiful and powerful as well. So I love both of them. I will have a full review of the Akashic Starchild Tarot once I've worked with it for a few months. But I just wanted to kind of give you a comparison, so if you're considering purchasing one or both, you can see the differences, that there are real differences. These are different decks. They're not the same deck. They are each their own deck. They're kind of sisters, but they are unique in and of themselves as well. So for me, it's worth having both because I love the Starchild Tarot so much. I knew that, with the Starchild Akashic Tarot, it was going to be just as meaningful of a relationship, and I have not been disappointed at all. So I give both of these, decks a thumbs up if you're considering purchasing. But hopefully you found this comparison of the two decks to help you as you're, deciding which decks to invest in, or if you want to invest in both. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm sending you all much love and many blessings. Thank you for your patience with the length of this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.